So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
It's just another doorway to open up and see what kind of lifeline will be waiting there for me. I need to bury all
I don't think this streaming software likes Twitch. It has been trying to fight me a lot, and I don't know what's going on with it. I'd love to know why it's doing this. I don't know what's going on with it. Let's see if Restream's got an error.
I'm still healing.
Really weird. I'll try to fix that at some point. Twitch is, I don't know.
I won't give up, I'm still healing. I fight the pain that I once let kill my vibe. I fear the day that I lose the chance to fight. So I stand up tall, ready to face it all again, and I will not fall. I won't lose again. I wanna fly over
But I have to look into it later.
I'm still healing.
I'm getting forget. Everybody know I'm a visual. Yeah, I kill it cold like a criminal. I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. Yes, you know I get it, I'm getting forget. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on. Get that freaky, freaky. I'm getting forget. Get it right, get it right. year of...
No, no, no. We are not. No. Screw off, Spotify. We are not doing this again. I am not sitting through like 10 minutes of ads for you guys to monetize off of my streams. No way. Nuh-uh. Absolutely not. No way. No how. We are going to YouTube and we are going to NCS on YouTube instead. So Spotify isn't profiting off of me while I'm streaming. Plus it's easier. They have like playlists that tell you what each thing is for. So in case you don't know, NCS is no copyright sound on YouTube. They are the #1 source for people who have live stream and stuff like that, because they provide all sorts of like, well, no copyright sounds. It's all songs that don't have copyright issues, so you could use it and have a monetized video. They ask that you give proper credit, which if you go to NCS.io, they have all of the songs there. When you download a song, you can actually have them email you, or you can copy and paste that information into the description. I can link different playlists too. Like there are thousands of stuff, like different things. I'm actually gonna do a melodic dubstep this time. It's muted. That's okay. There we go. No more of the ads.
Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look beyond.
Hey Max, are his tendrils stabby?
Just feel my heart inside. Our love can grow so bright. We found a way into the grace again. Let's not pretend our hearts have life again. Just stay one more night. I'll be by your side. Just stay. Just stay. Let's not pretend. We found our way again. We found our way again. We found our way. A new place.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Erase all of these broken dreams and flight. And we'll fly.
ones. See, I liked this tendril, but it's far too long. I need to fix it now. It's like it makes the proportions seem really wonky. I mean, Sonic character designs are always not, you know. See, when you have drawn Sonic before, proportions, what the fuck does that mean? Wasn't a path, or a path turbo before?
Yeah.
I swear to God, if that song just answered that question. I kind of want to make it seem like the tendrils aren't entirely natural, like they're kind of like an infection. He's so damn big. I almost forgot how tall he was. He could step on him. He could step on Sonic and crush him. He could actually step on him.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's like the tendrils are more of an infection that cling on to a host, and instead of draining the host of energy, it gives them energy, but at the cost of things like their sanity and their ability to make critical decisions. Well, positive critical decisions. It basically takes whatever they have in terms of strong emotion and kind of makes that the overdriving force. And it's not, the loss of those senses is not immediate. It happens over time.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired with yesterday. Fada. I fell where my demons dwell. My own little nightmare, I call it hell. Oh well, it's time to get back up. Climbing and climbing, I'm done with this ride, is what I tell myself, so I could feel something else. Yeah, I guess I had my bad days, but it doesn't mean I lost my style. Darling, where were you when my heart was on the ground? I thought time would prove that you would stick around. I guess time stood still, a king without his crown. Now I'm breaking and you're faking, girl. You never made a sound. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired with yesterday. Fada. you turn around, I feel the breeze over me. You watch your dreams unfold. Let it come around and let it breathe over me. It's time to go away into the light. I feel the calming energy. I see the darkness coming, and I'm calling you to help me set me free. I'm calling for you. I'm calling for you. I'm calling for you. Fly all the faith of the world in your plans, guarding your faith with the palm of your hands. I know, yeah, I know. It's the unknown, the unknown. It's time to go away into the light. I feel the calming energy. I see the darkness coming, and I'm calling you to help me set me free. I'm calling for you. I'm calling for you. I'm calling for you.
Hard to keep a straight face when I'm burning like fire, and you walk all the sides. I'm drawn in desire, and you have to think twice. It's hard to keep smiling when I try to set things straight. You don't even listen. I'm just getting late, like you're on a mission. trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken. You make me weak. You're the one I seek. And I hate that I love you. I hate that I love you. If I could, and I would, carve out your heart. Carve out your heart. And I reincarnate it. And I reincarnate it. It's hard to keep smiling when you're closing every door. I'm trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken. But it wouldn't mend mine.
just like, man, you got to have that time where you just like disconnect from the scene, just the race. Like, and it's a race that I've created in my head, you know? But you have to step away from it.
You're like poetry, the crazy whirlwinds blows us from the corners of my mind. Been long since last touched for the first time. Thought I was crazy until I reached out and saw your hand there waiting for mine. Like the lights out, lying in your arms, and these feet.
Supposed it's supposed to be melodic dubstep, but it like went soft, and I'm like, this ain't dubstep. What the hell?
Floating through the clouds, alert emerges from beneath the sand. The instinctive miracles seem so far away. Across this universe, she lives another day. I know the reason she's hate. I know the reason she's so far away. I know the reason she's hate. I know the reason she's so far away. Nicole, how could we run from everything we have done? It only takes us one more step to fall. Nicole, how could we run from everything we have done? It only takes us one more step. Nicole, how I know the reason she's hate. Nicole, how I know the reason she's so
I'll be right back. Alright, we're good.
Lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold, soldier to inspire. It's starfire. It's starfire. On this journey we will find our souls begin to intertwine. Your heart of gold, so pure, divine. And I lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold, soldier to inspire. It's starfire. It's starfire.
this love that you never started. You once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we have and take us to the edge and back. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back. This love that you never started. You once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back. Never taking whatever you told me. I know what I could be. Making emotion paintable and so tell me, is this what you made me?
Okay, real talk real quick. I'm actually considering, like, reaching out to the authorities because this dude is fucking stalking me on every single platform. Like, honestly, I fucking looked at my other platform. Like, I just got a pop-up from TikTok. And he started following me there. He's following me everywhere. I've had to block him. He's impersonated me, I think, twice now. He's made sexual remarks towards me along with another one. I'm like ready to call the fucking cops on this guy. And I'm not one to do that. But it's officially over. I'm being pushed over the edge. I don't know if I should do it though. Like, disabilities are one thing, but they aren't an excuse to stalk someone. Like, I have disabilities. That's never a fucking excuse to stalk someone. I'm officially tired of seeing pop-ups. Like, I've had him... Not only that, I've had him steal my work. And it's very frustrating because it's like... Trying to get him to leave me alone is a serious struggle. Like, I cannot get him to stop. I do not know what to do at this point. I'm kind of over dealing with it. Let's see. Let me grab those links 1 second. I see you in the Picarto. Sorry, I was looking at the other chat. So I have a YouTube chat open as well. It's supposed to be on Twitch too, but Twitch broke. They're like, why? I'm like, good question. I really need to put a picture on my imager because I don't have one. Let's see. And what was the request? Japanese RPG bonus? 1 second. Whoops. Hang on. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, 1 second, I'll be right back. I gotta make a run to do something real fast.
watching it end again and again. I feel it in waves, you follow me, drifting to places I should leave. So close to the edge of something so perfect. We were too scared to take the leap. I'm missing the way we used to be. Let me go. Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Couldn't get any closer.
All right, we're good.
Try to forget all that we had. I'm rolling like water in the sea. The memories crashing into me. So close to the edge of something so worth it. You have the world right at your feet, and almost is all we'll ever be. Let me go. Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer.
Okay, YouTube totally broke for a second there. Hold up. There it goes. Hello.
Not today. wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness
I'm all good over here. How about you?
now look behind. It's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. There's darkness, my old friend. You get me at the end. At the end. Can you feel?
I always forget that there's like a function in Clip Studio Paint that allows you to go straight to the layer you're looking for, but I'm like too lazy to use it, which is almost ironic because doing it the other way takes longer.
When you're drowning underwater, there's so much water.
Sweet Jesus, it is 100 degrees outside where I am. And if you walk outside, you die. You just melt as it's over. It's all over. If I had a car and I wasn't in college. I find it like everyone's like, oh, there's no way you're in college, there's no way you're as old as you are, because I look a lot younger than I am. And everyone's like, oh, well, that baby face will come in handy for years. I'm like, yeah, in a few years it's not useful now. You can go to buy a lottery ticket, and I literally got told, go home, kid. And I'm like, who are you calling kid? I'm not a child. No. I have a legal ID. I am not a child.
I've never been here before. I don't know the score, but I never wanted you more than I do tonight. Escape with me. Will you escape?
Hey, Max, you use Photoshop, right? So you can open like PSDs? Coolio. Oh, you got it after all? I fucking love this program. This program is just so much fun. Oh, you got like the full thing. You got EX. I have Pro currently. I don't know, I might get it later on. Currently, I'm cool with the features. If I ever start animating with this program, then I'll upgrade, but currently I'm like, I don't need it. It kind of depends. I know, like, I was in an animation course for college, right? Because that's my major. And the program keeps crashing, and it's so slow. Like, I have a Cintiq, and it doesn't seem to like the fact that I have a Cintiq. It's honestly, it's like, it updated, and it just destroyed itself. But it was like, that's iconic! Alrighty, that's another one done. So let's see, where is the next one? I need that thread again. I lost the thread. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Then I need to do this one. What? GTA is trending again. Oh boy. I'm scared. GTA 6 will reportedly launch in 2025. Bro, you better be adding some good shit to that game to make us wait, and it isn't showing for you the stat. Hold on. Let's see what broke. Now that's weird. Copy that. Undefined. There's a button in here that says undefined for some reason. Doop. Let's see, is this the same link? That's weird. Hold on, let me see if I can fix it. I don't know, that's really weird. Hold on. Can I send it over this, or will it not let me? No, it doesn't let me. Hold on, let me see if I can Dropbox it. Sorry, stream, hold on, I'm trying to send this over to the person it belongs to, and it's not being very cooperative. No, I don't want the app for Dropbox placement. I need dismiss. Okay, I need to to log out of that one because that is not the correct account. Sign out. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. And then I don't know why Stash is being like that. Brett! Oh, so rude. Hold on. I have to do it from this one because it's being so rude. So rude. Dropbox, you are so rude. Maybe one day I'll also upgrade my Dropbox. Who knows? There we go. And copy link. And let me try it this way. Let's try doing it as a Dropbox instead and see what exits. And I'll remove the Stash one. If that's not working, then there's something wrong there. That's not a good sign. Fun to know that it is breaking. Again. Good job, Dropbox. You're coming in handy this time. Okay. Yeah, it's like they updated DA and then everything broke. Let me like bookmark that so I can find that later because I don't need that right now. And I'll leave that alone. Okay, here's what I need to do. Ooh. That's not good. So that, the people who own that condo that collapsed, apparently they knew that there was damages to that condo and didn't do anything about it. I'm like, oh. That's a serious violation of several building codes. Easily. That can literally kill people. Alright, so what did he want me to do? Who's the character to rewrite named Buddy? Pixar. Changes try and make it feel like a Pixar. Okay, still haven't read. So he wants it done in the Pixar style. If I do that. Okay, so it did work this time. Okay, cool. So we need to like. See, Google Images. I need to see Bugs Life. I don't remember how to draw it. It's been like so many years since I've seen this movie. Ew. Oh god, I hate people. Oh god, I hate people. I never want to go on Google Images ever again. I don't like it. Gross. I remember ants. Holy crap. This is a throwback. Alright, so we'll use the feminine and masculine images for a good reference. And we'll compile that to fix in a minute. Why is that one smaller? Oh, she's a flying ant. I'm stupid. I didn't even realize she was a flying ant. Let's see here. Okay. kind of sad. Like, I went to California Adventure not too long ago, and seeing that Avengers Campus, oops, didn't mean to do that, went to the wrong thing. So I got to get to go over to Avengers Campus to get a look at it, and it's really sad to me. Like, I like Avengers, but it's really sad because that is where A Bug's Life used to be. So if anyone was particularly attached to that, sorry to say, but it's gone now. So it's pretty sad. But it is what it is. They gotta get rid of old stuff to make way for the new. So let's go ahead and duplicate this and transform this one to make it bigger so I can have another reference. I'm also gonna go ahead and trace over this to get a rough shape of what I'm going for. So there's a leg here, arm here, and head here. That's terrifying looking. I have no idea how I'm gonna pull this one off, so dare I say I'm going to wing it. It's really sad to see that that's gone now. But, yeah. You know, what's really sad is, going there knowing that Chadwick isn't around anymore. And there's not very much for Black Panther there, and it really is just sad to me because you'd think that they'd actually put a little more in there. Like, I appreciate the fact that, yeah, they've got something, but, like, most of the design in that area is Spider-Man and Tony Stark. Or not even Tony, it's Howard Stark, Tony's dad. And it's really upsetting that there's not more for Black Panther. Like, I'm not trying to be that person, but, like, I really wish there was more to it, because, you know, it's kind of weird knowing that they're not doing that much, considering that he's gone. But, what are you gonna do, I guess? And you know what really sucked is, my brother, he hasn't been there in a long time, and I don't think he was big enough yet the last time we went with him to take him on Splash Mountain. And he really wanted to go on Splash Mountain. I feel so bad because I have disability, right? And whenever I go to Disneyland and California Adventure, I get disability put on my ticket. And they give me a return time so I can come back so I don't have to have an anxiety attack every time I stand in line. Also, it makes it so people are touching me because people are fucking weird. People, like, want to touch me, and I'm like, can you don't? Can you don't touch me? Random person who I do not know? Like, I really would have hoped that people would know boundaries, but evidently not. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, we were literally talking to the attendant to redeem it, and the ride broke down. Literally, as we were about to walk on, the ride broke down. It sucked. And you know what really sucks is, like, so if you've never been on Splash Mountain, it's like there's a hill that it goes up, and at the very, very top, it's like it goes up and it like builds up a little bit, and then there's like this cave, and you're in a cart that's like here. It goes up and it goes over, and it goes like straight like that, and it's like you go down that and you get like super splashed and stuff. But the people who were stuck on the ride and had to be okay, so like when the ride broke down, they had to, like, you know, they had to evacuate the ride, pull people off, and they got stuck like right here. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. Like, you're building up that anticipation, waiting for that drop, and it just stops. I've seen that happen with Matterhorn as well, which is a very similar situation, except on Matterhorn, they were at the very top. Like, they got stuck for like an hour in California heat during the summer. I'm like, I live in a desert, so it's not that bad to me. Their heat there isn't nearly as, like, devilish as it is out here. But it was still, like, pretty hot, and getting stuck up there in that weather would have sucked. And I remembered, like along with a lot of other people, we kind of just watched this go down. But it was really freaky. And I felt so bad that we couldn't take my brother on Splash Mountain, because it was already, the sun was going down, you know, and we weren't going to take him on that and have him be all cold. But the last ride we ended up going on was like Cars, and that was nice because I hadn't been able to go on Cars for so many years. Not because anything was wrong with me, but because of something that was wrong with the ride. Like, every single time, I don't know what kind of luck this was, every single time, without fail, I had gone, it was broken down. And I'm like, I just want to go on the Cars ride. I just want to go. But eventually, like, we got to go on it. So I got to go twice this time on it. And we basically walked on because of the disability thing. It's not like a magic fast pass. Like, you still have to wait a little bit. But you are given, like, say it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you go and you get the return time, and it's like 1:45. You cannot go there before 1:45. You have to go 1:45 or after. And they'll scan it, and they'll send you in kind of like they'd send you in Fast Pass, which, by the way, due to pandemic restrictions, it is currently not being used. They don't really have Fast Pass right now. So that was kind of weird to have that experience without that there. Because normally, like, you can get it, and, like, the rides you really want Fast Pass for are, like, you know, Space Mountain and all that. That's normally one of the longest waits. My dad tried to give me so much shit about getting that disability in there. And I'm like, I couldn't explain to him exactly how to do it just because I didn't have the words to figure out how to explain that. And he tried to, like, give me crap about it. And I later on, he's like, your disability thing came in handy. I'm like, see, aren't you glad? I literally said, aren't you glad I'm disabled? And then I was like, I wish I hadn't said that, because, like, I don't want people to be glad I have that. Like, it's not great. You meet people with disabilities, be nice to them. Like, you don't know what we go through. Like, we get to deal with, like, ableist pieces of trash a lot, and, like, just because you can't see the disability doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like, don't be that asshole. It's never cool to do that to someone. Like, I'm not gonna disclose exactly what I have, but, people who know me know what I have, at least to some extent. And it's a little stressful because when you look at me, you wouldn't know that I had a disability. And that's kind of the weird part about mental disabilities. And it's also like, people are like, why do you talk about that stuff on streams, and why do you talk about that stuff in videos? I'm like, why not? It should be talked about on streams. It should be talked about in videos, because it's not talked about enough. Like, if there's something going on with you, like, you're allowed to talk to people about it. It doesn't make you weak to seek help for something that you know is wrong. Like, if something's wrong, then something's wrong. There's no shame in, like, getting help and treating it. Because it's sometimes certain disabilities, they shouldn't let them go. I've met quite a few people who didn't make it because they didn't get that help. Either A, because they couldn't get access to it, or B, because they were afraid to. Or C, sometimes they weren't taken seriously. And that's why I tell people, please take it seriously. Like, a prime example of, like, it being really serious and people not wanting to really take it seriously is actually Etika. And that is still incredibly upsetting to me. Like, I wish that he had reached out to someone instead of, like, I can't even say what he did because, like, I'll get in trouble with the stream. But there's no shame in getting help at all. There's absolutely no shame in that. You're better off going and getting help than just leaving it to go. One second. I lost the link. Where'd it go? There's the link. You can drop it here or. Hold on, that's not correct. One second, that broke. Disregard that last one. Let me fix that. 1 second. I literally cannot stand this keyboard. It is incredibly broken. There we go. That took a hot minute to get it to work correctly. Like, people were like, oh, well, you shouldn't encourage people to get mental help. And I'm like, you are an ableist piece of trash. Okay, like, no. That is not gonna do. That is not gonna do. Like, I've worked with that before, and it's incredibly upsetting to see people say that, like, oh, you don't deserve to get help. And I've seen that happen, and it is so disgusting. It is so trashy to do that to someone, to say that to someone. And another thing is, like, telling someone to off themselves, don't ever do that. Like, honestly, don't do that. That's a terrible thing to say. Not only that, you can be held criminally responsible if they do. In the United States, anyway. But yeah, here you can be completely held responsible for that. That's why I can't stand it when people do that, and people are like, oh, well, I can get away with it with the sorts of, and on, like, being anonymous, and on, like, just because you're anonymous on some websites doesn't mean you won't get caught. It's kind of like, what's her name? It's like Creepshow Art thinking she could get away with what she thought she could get away with on Lockout. But Lockout, like a lot of websites where there's like an anonymous feature, there is a way to track that. There's a temp IP. Well, the reason I know that? Computer science course. Okay. That gives me a general structure of how that works. Okay, I see what I need to do here. I'm gonna draw one circle, one circle, one circle, another circle. There's gonna be a lot of circles. A line here. Circle, circle, circle. At me, Pixar. But please don't. You'll kill me. I'll die. I'll die. You know what really sucks is, like, I've been trying to get, like, a full-on, like, full-time job. Or even a part-time job, like, seasonal. Like, I don't care. Any job. And it's, like, the market is so difficult. Like, I feel like I don't have a chance, you know? It's like I applied for 3 different positions at Target, and I was declined for every single one of them. I tried for Ulta, which is like, my mom works at an Ulta, you know, so like I have a referral from an employee, and I still like can't I haven't heard back from them yet. Means to still have a chance, right? Apply for Barnes & Noble. Haven't checked my email today, so I have to check. We'll see if probably they denied me too. I hope not, though, because I'm a totally right mailman. I'm like a massive nerd. What else did I apply for? And I got like almost instantly like declined. Our target out here is super ableist. Super ableist. Like, they legally cannot discriminate against you with disability, but they fucking did. They did, and their asses got caught. $12 dead and 149 still missing. Wow, that's fucking crazy. They really suck. Like, the only grievance I have about this program that I've realized is on occasion, unless you manually adjusted it, it like auto saves sometimes, and it like stops you mid-drawing process. And I'm like, I appreciate the fact there's an autosave, but not while I'm in the middle of drawing a line. Like, I wish it would wait until after you're done with that line to do that. Because it's like, no, my straight line, it was perfect. Now it's gone forever. This is actually really good practice for me too, because it's like learning to animate. It's weird. Like, I've been able to animate for a long time. Like, I don't produce my animations as much. I am still working on a few animation memes. And it's like, people give animation meme people a lot of shit. And a lot of the people who do that are gotcha tubers. And I'm like, you better back down, sweetie. Because we actually draw the shit. That's the difference. We draw every single detail. You take apart and put together and animate by bones. We don't animate by bones. We literally hand draw frame by frame. A lot of us. And some of us have to tween. Like, I have to tween if I'm moving things left and right. But like, people who try to give a shit, and I'm like, don't you try that. If you're in the gotcha community, like, that's probably one of the most toxic possible things that they can do. Because that community, of every single community I've seen, is probably the most toxic and aggressive. And I've been a part of some of the other communities that are toxic. Like, I've never been a part of gotcha. I'm good. I can live my life never being a part of that. Like, I have no grievance to people who create gotcha content. It's the people who act like assholes and get all uppity when they're the ones who aren't really doing the kind of work that we are. Like, they're like, oh, well, I am this and this and this because I use gotcha. And I'm like, you ain't shit! It's insanity. I'm like, there's no reason to fight someone over it. It's so pointless. I'm like, you're throwing your life away trying to fight me over gotcha-verse? Like, really? No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not cash money for anybody, including yourself. I'm like, please don't waste your life fighting me about that. But every single artist I've ever talked to, though, has had an issue with the gotcha community. Because there's a lot of children in the gotcha community, and that's, I think, where a lot of it comes from. And it's one of those really weird things. I made that eye way too large. It's one of those things. It's like, you know, they're a kid. When it boils down to it, they're a kid. I need to hide that from me. It's just, okay, let's look at the cool. And normally when I do stuff like this looks like one, this is normally like a commission type piece, but I sent out the tweet and I was like, I want to redesign some more scenes. So I saw someone else do it and I was like, that sounds like a lot of fun. Well, I mean, I'm only using her here as a reference for the style because it's the only real, like, good quality side image I can get. So I'm not drawing as much from the side, but it's important for me to understand and have that frame of reference for me to keep working. Otherwise, I'll have some trouble. I have special, like, make the eyes massive and just, I have special eyes. My brand! Oh my god. I have special eyes. Let's see, I need to do, okay, yeah, I was like, this eye is off. Don't you just love that when you're drawing something and then you see it? Like, you think, this is okay. And then you come back, like, and you look at it again, you're like, this is not right. There is something wrong. It's kind of like you see it and you just know. I need to re-up this line. Oh. Okay, and then circle there, and then another circle there. You know what, we're not gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it this way. For me, it's easier for me to, like, not do this circle this way. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in the pupils are bigger anyway, I need to fix that. If you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I oftentimes forget to flip the canvas, and then I do it, and I'm like, oh god, what have I done? Mistakes were made. Wasted. It's like the Buzz Lightyear meme where he's like, years of academy training wasted. And it's like, literally, if my one of my art teachers saw that, she'd like flip out. She'd be like, what are you doing? Flip, or no, it wouldn't even be a she, it'd be a he. He's like, flip the canvas. He'd get so angry. Oh, I forgot they have a neck. It's weird, sometimes people are like, why do you draw Sonic characters with necks? And I'm like, I don't know! Because it's weird to draw something without a neck? No, I have not seen Luca yet, don't say anything about it. I really want to see it. I have Disney Plus, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I also haven't watched it, like, I have to watch it done. Like, one of the people I was talking to at Disneyland, when I was getting my, like, the ears done, they were like, or she's like, have you seen Luca yet? And I said, no. And she, like, I don't remember what this is called. It's not quite a button? Let me explain what that thing is. It's kind of like a button, but a lot bigger. And she was wearing a tie, right? And she moved the front part of the tie over, and it was hanging on the back part of the tie. But it wasn't like a button. I don't know how to explain exactly what it was. But it's just... It was totally like a Luca thing. She's like, I would recommend it. And it was really cool. And the reason it came up was because the ears I got are the Pride ones. So it's like the regular black Mickey Mouse ears, or like the hat, but the ears on it are rainbow. And then you also can get like rainbow text. Is it? Scary too, because there's wind, which usually means that there's a fire. It's alarming. I don't know if I have to worry about that. I mean, I haven't heard anything, so I'd assume not. Fires aren't that uncommon. Especially for us. Let's see, there needs to be a circle here, right? And we'll add a point. Make it spoiky. Spoiky. There we go. That works. Ew, accent, go away. No, shoo. Ew. Go back into hiding, accent. I don't want you here. Like, you'd be amazed how often you get mocked when you have an accent. It's to the point where I've, like, modified it. Honestly, I didn't really have an inspiration to go into the animation field. I just kind of, like, started drawing, and then I watched, like, different animated movies and stuff like that. And just kind of was like, huh. But I also saw a lot of thesis films, which are, like, the thing you do in college. I just realized, like, I did this right, but, like, it's not in the right place. Use free transparency. Make it softer. I need to, like, I need to play Ratchet and Clank. I don't know why it popped in my head, but, like, I gotta watch it. Alright, no, one thing. I need this one. Okay, let me put these other things into this so I can have everything in place. Oh, it's because I selected my accent. Seems didn't need to select that. Okay. That helps. Now there's the head, torso, butt, and the eye highlights. Okay, let me name that high so it doesn't get confused. Torso. Actually, it's called the hand, isn't it? Oh, I forgot the X. Hand brace. Thorax. But I keep uh-oh. Hold on, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Dropped frames. Let me close some of my other tabs to see if I can catch up a little bit here. My computer slowed down a little bit. I got some complaints with Ren Picardo about it lagging. Let me go ahead and deal with it. I just got another. This is the second bot in a row that I've gotten. I'm gonna have to ban this person. Hold on a second. Ban. Report. Spam. Bot account. Sending. Follow. Link. Spam. Follow bot. Link. All done. All done, taken care of. Nice and easy, nice and quick. I got another notification. Yeah, I see that. That's craziness. I should bookmark this. I need a bookmark. I don't know why I didn't bookmark Dropbox. And I should bookmark Stash as well. Well, I don't need Stash right now. They're like, high mortality rate in 2020. I'm like, well, Duh. When the pandemic started. There was already crime, and it's like you're adding on more. Of course there's an issue. Yeah, I figured it was like a lot of, I had a lot of tabs open in the background, so I just closed them. I closed Discord too. I don't actually need Discord open right now. Oh, that's what's lagging it. Where is that? Steam is open. That'll totally kill it. No wonder I'm having trouble. I may lag out a little bit right here, but it should be okay. I just need it to shut Steam. Excuse me, sir, Steam. Be gone with you, thank you. There we go. That takes care of that. Let's see, Task Manager. Is there anything else open that shouldn't be? Like Adobe. Or Microsoft Edge update, because I don't even use Edge and it updates it anyway. I'm like, I don't need it. Let's see, Discord, Microsoft Office. That can be closed. I'm not sure why that opens on its own. Steam and Office, shut. Movies and TV, I don't need that either. I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm thinking about disabling the Xbox game bar. Like, I don't really know how much I actually use that. I knew it. Acro Tray. Adobe Notification Client. I knew it. I knew it opened on its own again. Suspicious. Looking kind of sus there, Adobe. There we go. Being shady. L-E-G-G leg. Perfect. Oh yeah, I haven't watched Bug's Life in like a long time, but yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, like, but the Bug's Life land that used to be in California Adventure is gone now. Like, it is sad. That's where Avengers Campus is currently. So where you used to go for Avengers Campus is now, where Bug's Life used to be. I got myself confused for a second. Where Bug's Life used to be, Avengers Campus is now. Boop, boop, boop. Nope, that's not okay. There we go. Yeah, I've seen it. It's been a really long time since I've actually seen it. And okay, this one needs to be a little bit longer because it's a front leg. I may just use this foot as a reference because this foot is like kind of in the place I need it to be. Part of me kind of wants the foot to be that way. I just punned by accident. I'd have to watch it again. Like, I haven't watched it in a long time, so I feel like that would definitely, like, have an effect on my opinion. But I'd have to watch it again. Love that you never started. You once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. I feel like some movies, I feel like I really don't want like Disney to touch again. Like, they're making a lot of the things live action now, and I'm like, Disney. Disney, no. Disney, leave it. Bad Disney. Put it back. Like, I don't think they realize not everything needs an update. You know, not everything needs to be redone. And I really don't like that they're like making characters that were previously light skinned darker skinned. I feel like that is kind of defeating the purpose of what those movements were about. The point is, don't make previous existing characters different skin tones. Make more characters that are different skin tones. Don't just recolor the old characters. That doesn't work. The character, if you were to just recolor the character and not change anything about the character, you are, like, if you were to change a white character to a black character without changing anything about it, you would quite literally be writing or designing a black character who is white coded, and that doesn't work. It just does not work. Just like Disney is like, they're still doing Little Mermaid, right? But it's like they don't quite realize what they're a lot of people think The Little Mermaid is actually like a cute and sweet story. I'm like, in Disney it is. In the original, no the hell it ain't. It is not a sweet and cute film. Or it's a sweet and cute film, but the original thing is not so nice. The film that actually comes the closest to what it's actually like is actually Ponyo. And Ponyo, I have the case I think right here. Let me see what it says. I think it's actually supposed to be based on that as well. Here, one second. Yeah, Hans Christian Andersen story. It's based on it, or inspired by it. And the Ponyo's mom does at some point, if I remember correctly, say that if he stops loving her, she's going to turn to seafoam, which is being derived from The Little Mermaid in original writing, where, here's the thing. Basically, okay, so in The Little Mermaid, Ariel gets her happy ending. In the story, she doesn't. She dies. She turns into seafoam. Every step she takes is like stepping on glass and nails. It's literally in the story. So people are like, let's make it a different skin tone. Let's make it cutesy. I'm like, or you can just make a new movie? Like, one of my favorite princesses is probably Tiana, but I've heard that she's also kind of problematic. The problem with that for me is they say this, but what about it is problematic? Like, seriously, what exactly? Like, you can't just say that, not say what the problematic part is. Like, they kind of should say that, because it's like, there's a lot of people out there who are younger and still learning. And it's like, if you don't tell them, how are they gonna know not to do that? You're not telling them how to not do that. It's one of those things where I'm like, really? We're doing this again? Like, a lot of people I know aren't too pleased about them making Ariel a different skin tone. Like, I have nothing against her actress, or against that actress. It's just the fact that they're changing the skin tone. It's still a character that was written. It's still a white-coated character. It shouldn't even be a white-coated character, because the story is, I believe, Danish. Like, they're not, a lot of people are like, what's the difference? And I'm like, that right there is problematic. Saying that they're the same is that problematic. It's not cute when people do that, and I think a lot of people miss that. How do their wrists? Oh, okay, I kind of see how to do it now. There it is. I want to support BLM and all that stuff, but I feel like when they press it towards companies, you have to press it in a very specific way. Otherwise, the thing that Disney is doing and that they think is the right thing to do is to change the skin tone of a character instead of making an entirely new character, which is inherently problematic. And people are like gonna give me a lot of shit about saying it, but I really don't like the fact that they changed the skin tone like that. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, don't change and then a lot of people are complaining, oh, another white girl casted as a Disney princess, and I'm like, because it's being casted to fit the original thing. And a lot of people like were mad too about Mulan, the live action Mulan. Well, I hate to break it to you, Mulan, the animated version, was a piece of shit. It had little to nothing to do with the actual historic figure that is Mulan. She was literally a warrior, and you know, she didn't conceal the fact that she was a woman. She didn't. That is completely false. They knew. She knew that they knew. She didn't give a shit. And she wasn't made a princess. She was given a medal. And the medal is a sign of being like... It's kind of like America's Medal of Honor, you know? It's like you're being given like a status by the emperor. You're being told like, it's kind of, yeah, it's just like it's a Medal of Honor. It's not the same thing. And that's why I liked the fact that they changed some of the things in the live action Mulan. That was something I appreciated. Because I'm like, now it's like the factual story. And if people don't like it, well, too bad. That's history. That's literally history. Because you don't like it, they're gonna magically make a time machine to go back in time and change it because you don't like it? No, that's not how it works. Also, that would create a time paradox, and that would drastically change the future. It changes a lot of things. Just like a lot of people say, like, I'm non-binary, right? And a lot of people are like, oh, other cultures don't have it. Actually, Hawaii and Japan both had something akin to a third gender, of like a non-binary gender, where they're not necessarily identifying in gender terms. Hold on, I don't remember what they're called. It's in Japan. Japan had a third gender. I don't remember what they're... Oh, wakashu? Here's something that was written by the, hold on. Let me look at the book title, because it's kind of cut off. A third gender, but beautiful youths in Japan, Endo periods. And it's prints and paintings, 1600 to 1868. And it was, yeah, it's in the Endo period of Japan, which is 1603 to 1868. And yeah, it was wakashu. And they were desired by both men and women. Okay, so let me just read it. Wakashu, male youths, were desired by men and women, constituting a third gender with their androgynous appearance and variable sexuality. And people are like, oh, well, they didn't have that. And I'm like, they did. And I think, wasn't India one of them too? There's also Hijra, which I believe is how you pronounce it. It's India's third gender. It's people who identify as neither male nor female. And it's, yeah, but it's like, seriously. There was India, Japan, Hawaii. Big ones. Mahu, I believe it's pronounced. Which translates to in the middle. It is a third gender, and it is very, very important to their culture. But American people like colonizers try to force it to be gone. And it didn't go. It didn't work. So yeah. Just like a lot of people they're like, oh well, in America we don't need it, and it's like they can get mad about it, sure, but there's nothing they can do about it. We still exist. You can't make us not exist just because you will it. Insert someone waggling their fingers like they're casting a spell, you know, like, you can't magically cast a spell on us and make us poof, disappear, or make us magically identify with a gender. It doesn't work that way. Like, I don't want to be— oops, I just realized they have only 3 fingers, and I drew 4. Oopsies. Wait, what is it? Oh, yeah, okay. Technically, they only have 3 fingers, because the 4 is called a monkey stump. Thumbs are not fingers, technically. We call those monkey stumps where I'm from. Well, not everyone does, but a lot of us call them monkey stumps. But it's like really weird that people are like, why does it— like, I get being religious, but like, don't use your religion as a reason to attack people. That's terrible. That's a terrible thing to do. Oops, I forgot. We need to make breaks in the fingers because these fingies have breaks in the middle because they are bugs. See you around, guys. I have people in the YouTube chat who are dipping out for a little while. Yeah, go outside. Go outside. Don't be a recluse like me. Well, technically I'm not being a recluse. It's like 100 degrees outside. If I walked outside, I'd burn. I'm like white toast, alright? Like, you put me in a toaster for too long and I don't tan. I burn. I just straight burn. Like, I'm not really white, but like, I have very fair complexion. And that's like a thing that happens with the women in my family. Like, I'm super pale. And a lot of people interpret that as me being white. I'm like, no. It's because I also have Scottish and Dutch and German, but I'm also Mexican. It's a mess. They're like, how do you keep track of it? And I'm like, I don't. I stopped trying. Yeah, it's like really weird that people are like, oh, well, we can't have that. It's because they, when they colonized Hawaii, they were following the Christian, you know, they're heavy Christians. I just realized I need to erase some of this so I can actually start correcting. I just hope this image looks okay. I mean, I think so far this image looks good. It's like really weird. Like, I can honestly, people like, they want to get in debate. I'm like, I wish that my my high school and college and that, I wish they had a debate club, because honestly, I could debate on that stuff for hours on a time. And a lot of people, like, they're like, oh, you don't have proof, and I'm like, Google it. Bing it. Use your search engine of choice. Personally, I recommend Ecosia, because Ecosia actually plants a tree with every search you make. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do endorse that. They actually will plant a tree for every single, like, search you make on it, which is just super duper cool. Because honestly, our environment needs that. Like, I went to, when I was in middle school, I did something called Valley Environmental Academy. So, like, we planted a lot of, like, plants and stuff, and it was really cool. We went on field trips to places that, like, handled all of the, like, plants and stuff like that. Some of it was in Washington, some of it was in California. But like I missed that. Those field trips were really cool, and I feel like it's important for kids to see that. I feel like a lot of schools don't really talk about the dangerous and harmful effects that some of the things that go on in society actually do, and they need to understand, they need to see. Like, just because schools don't want to talk about it doesn't mean it's not going on. It's kind of like the bullying thing. They want to say, oh, there's no bullying in our school. Bet? Want to bet? Because, of course there's not bullying in your school. You turned a blind eye to it. That's a major thing that happens, and I'm like, I really wish that schools would make more of an effort to deal with that. Like, I was sexually harassed, I was bullied, I've been assaulted at school, threatened. My ex-boyfriend actually, excuse me. He was threatened by another guy who was mad because I guess he wanted to go out with me and it was never gonna happen. Like, I was like not having it. I was saying absolutely not. And he didn't like that. Not at all. So, in order to try and get to me, he threatened my boyfriend at the time. And I'm like, what did you think you were gonna accomplish? Like, I already wanted nothing to do with you because of that kind of behavior. And you literally just, you made it worse for yourself, my dude. Eventually, it was like, they didn't take it seriously at that school. And I was like, I warned them. And I'm like, he's making these kinds of threats. And he's like, he literally threatened to stab him. And so I called them out. And I'm like, you guys need to do something about this. Because if this happens, this will become a bigger issue. And sure enough, a few years later, and like, I left that school to go to a different high school at the time. In my absence, he pulled a knife on somebody after making that threat. And I was like, see? See? I told you. And they didn't take it seriously until the cops showed up. And I'm like, that's what happens when you don't do your job. I'm like, you can't expect it to magically go away. Just like the other thing they really enjoyed doing was like a lot of people who have like disabilities will have like a lot of issues at home. And one of the things they loved doing was dangling calling your parents over your head. And here's the thing, I talked to my stepmom about it a few years later, and she says that she had never once gotten a call from them, despite the fact they had hung that over my head many times. And like, I wasn't like a super bad student, but I wasn't an angel either. Like, nobody is. But like, they always say that, and they never did. They also had the nerve to tell my dad that, so we in my family have this little thing, right? Someone hits you, you hit them back, and you hit them back harder. You defend yourself, you stand up for yourself. And they had the nerve to tell my dad, because my dad told me that, and I had told those teachers, because I don't even remember who it was at the time. It was like some kid kept trying to like hit me and kept hitting me, and I told them to their faces. And I mean the staff. I'm like, I told them, if he keeps hitting me, I'm gonna hit him back. And they had the nerve to tell my dad during an IEP meeting, oh, well, we don't really allow that. And he shot right back with, but you let them hit my daughter? And I'm like, exactly. That exactly. It's dumbfounding. I'm like, did you magically think that because you told my dad that I said that it was gonna change anything? And I told them he was the one who told me, and they're like, really? Well, I'm gonna ask your dad about it. And that was my homeroom teacher at the time. Said that, Zephyrin, you better stop. I don't like that attitude. You don't scream like that. There's no reason for that. You're totally fine. Calm down, Grace Bird. Yeah, they're like, oh, well, we don't support bullying. Don't hit each other. I'm like, when I got punched in the mouth and had a tooth knocked out, where the hell was that system? Like, if I tell them, oh, I'm being hit, I'm being attacked at school, and my mom, before, when she saw the state of my fucking mouth, because I had been punched in the mouth, she was pretty pissed. Needless to say, she wasn't too pleased about that. But the school was like, oh, well, she instigated it. And I'm like, I did not instigate it. He had been bullying me for literally, like, years at that point. Like, this was in the 1st grade, and I still remember this clearly. Because he picked on me so often. And I wasn't the only one who did it to. The only time he wouldn't do it is when my older brother was around. Because my older brother, he's 5 years older than me, right? So, at that point, like, he knew that my older brother would knock him on his ass, regardless of the fact that he was 5 years younger. Because he was a little shitbag kid. Sometimes I wonder what happened to him. I hope that someone fucking punched him in the mouth really hard so he learned a lesson. And that he would stop doing it. Because it's like, he stopped picking on me after I punched him in the mouth. I literally got into a physical fight, like a physical altercation with this kid. Because he seriously, like, my teeth are still kind of crooked in the front because he punched me in the mouth. And knocked that tooth out. But he thought he was going to get away with it that time. That was where I was like, no more. I'm done dealing with this. I'm like, the school's not going to do anything about it? Fine. I'll do it myself. Works for me. Of course, I got in a lot of trouble with the school system. They weren't too pleased that I punched a kid in the face. But when they saw my mouth and the fact that it was bloody, they were quick to change their judgment. Especially after legal action was threatened, because they allowed this kid to do this for so long. Like, this was seriously one of the worst schools I'd ever attended. And they micromanaged recess and lunch. You couldn't play where you wanted. At all. You had to go to this specific area on the blacktop in the sun in California heat. It may have been in the valley, but it was still really hot outside. It would get easily into the 90s, and like high 90s during that season. And they still would make you go, like, stand in the sun. And I stopped listening to them. I, like, went into the shade and sat in the shade, because I'm like, I'm not gonna get heat stroke and get sunburned because they want to be micromanagers. Like, they want to micromanage? Not my problem. They can take it up with the complaint department. Points to the trash can. See, I have this little thing. On every computer I've ever owned, the recycling bin is, it's got a very special title. Yeah. It's got a very unique name. And it may or may not be an Amazing World of Gumball reference. But it's called the Complaint Department. And I'm just like, not a big problem. But, like, yeah, the zero tolerance policy they have, in quotes, it is seriously the most useless system they have ever implemented in a school, because that only works if you actually enforce it, you know? And there was no enforcement of this policy to protect the people when they're actually being attacked. Like, half the time later on in high school, I was the one who broke up fights. And it's like, the staff that was outside supposed to be quote-unquote watching us, and I say this in quotes, they weren't watching. They told us we couldn't be on our phones, yet they were always on their phones. Like, they did not give a shit. They did not watch anybody. And there were often, like, fights. And I remember distinctly warning the staff outside. I'm like I saw how he was acting, and I was like, that's gonna turn into a physical altercation. And I was like, this is not gonna go well. And I was like, I already know that there's gonna be a fight there. I told the staff there was gonna be a fight, and because it's like, it's one of those things, you know, it's like when you've been in this kind of school system, you know what I'm talking about when I say, you know that there's gonna be a fight. You see the look on their faces, and you instantly know to like get away from that area so you don't get caught in the conflict. Like, I had already been watching, but as soon as I saw the look on his face and the voices started to become like raised, I like knew. I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. And I looked over at the staff to see what they're doing. Go figure, they're not watching. They're literally sitting there on their phones. As always. The irony of it. And sure enough, there was a fight. I yelled to a staff member, and I told him, get off your fucking phone, because the other kid had literally jumped on him and was like hounding him. And I was like, exactly, the storm in their eyes, exactly. You see it coming, you know. But as soon as I saw that happen, like, I yelled to staff, because I knew if I did something, I was gonna get in trouble, and I wasn't about to get in trouble and have them dangle calling my parents over my head, because I didn't know until years later that they didn't actually call your parents. They were liars. Really scummy thing to do, but what are you gonna do about it, you know? It is what it is, but it was really incredibly stupid to me. Nope. Transform. Make this bigger. I need to use this as a reference. I can't quite get this foot right because it's a different style than I'm used to. This is like really weird foot. But I was just like, they kind of like glared up, and then they like saw that I was pointing, and I was doing it in kind of a smart ass way, because I'm like, you want to glare at me, fuck boy, you're the one not doing your job. Don't look at me like that, it's not my fault you're not doing your job. But it was really funny to me to watch the face of this guy go from, what the fuck do you want, to, oh shit. I've never seen someone's expression change so fast in my life. They're like, oh, we really care about the well-being and the safety of our kids at their school. That's what they all say. That's what they all say. And then they literally watch a kid get bullied to death. Always say that. Such a stupid thing to say. Oh, and they have like this giant like stack of paperwork that they make you sign, and I refused up until the day that I left that school to sign one of the pages about the sexual harassment policy, because it was bullshit. If I can find the paper, like, I'll read it off here someday, and I don't know where it is right now. But it was like, I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was like really absurd. I remember it being like a really stupid policy and a borderline illegal policy at that, because you can't do that. That's basically, it was like they were gonna how they dealt with sexual harassment at their school was entirely up to their discretion, and that they tried to make you sign it so they had basically an NDA of sorts, so you can't say anything to authorities. And I'm like, you want me to sign away my rights, my basic human rights as a person? Not gonna happen. And like, I don't say this to toot my own horn, but I would hear a lot. They're like, oh, you're such a pretty girl. I'm like, well, first of all, no you. Second of all, I'm not binary. So, no. But, that would be all the more reason for me not to sign away those rights. Like, again, they legally, I don't think in California they can legally do that. So I was like, you trying to break the law? I couldn't even be surprised. Like, I didn't have the mental capacity to be surprised by any of the things that they were doing at that point in time. It was one of those things. It was just so absurd. It was so, like, dumbfounded when they made us sign that piece of paper. Or they tried to make us. And I left a note on there. I'd be like, I'm not signing any kind of pieces of paper like that until you guys actually attempt to do something about what's going on. Because I had been grabbed, I had been touched, and it was like, when I told him about it, oh, that's not okay. I'll make sure to have a talk with his parents. I'll make sure to have a talk with him. And I'm like, okay. They didn't ever do it. It's again one of those things that they absolutely dangled over your head. It was incredibly dumb. Incredulously stupid that I was like, I was kind of just like, how did you think that this was ever gonna go your way? How did you ever think that you were going to be favored for making that decision? It's like they tried to think that that was gonna put them in some magical positive light. Like they thought they were really gonna get away with that. And I'm like, yeah, no, never gonna happen. I'm like, even if I were stupid, I'd know better than to sign that. They don't even get a slap on the wrist at that school. They don't. They get away with it completely. They're like, oh, well, they've got a lot of trouble at home. And I'm like, and? And? I have trouble at home. I had trouble at home since I was a literal toddler. I was never allowed to do things like that. It doesn't matter if they have problems at home. That is never an excuse for harassment of any kind. It's terrible. The fact that they think they're like, oh, I can get away with that. Yeah, sure you will. Dumbfoundingly stupid. I just realized I'm drawing on the wrong layer again. And it's like a lot of parents don't quite understand. Because a lot of parents and grandparents, like, to their credit, yeah, they grew up in a system that could also be potentially, like, abusive or hostile and with bullying. But they will never experience what we've gone through, just like we will not experience what the next generation will go through. And it's like, yeah, it's bad. But I think that's part of the thing we need to fix, because the more we ignore it, the worse it becomes. And it's just, I don't know, the whole thing is stupid, that we shouldn't have to fight to be heard. We shouldn't have to physically fight back against people who are hurting us. Like, it's so dumb that we should have to fight to be heard, and it's like, what's the point? They claim to have an anti-bullying system, then where's your anti-bullying system when we're being bullied? Oh, never even heard of this. Open source. Oh, it's open source? Oh, awesome. I love open... Thank you for introducing me to this. I love open source programs I can play around with. That's what I like about Clip Studio. Like, the sucky part is, obviously, it's like $50 to get pro license. And that is because I have a Cintiq, and it came with, like, a specialty EX demo. I didn't get that discount. I could never get a response from Wacom. I really wanted that discount, because that's an ass discount. That program can cost, like, upward of, like, God, I think Pro's like $200? If you're upgrading from, sorry, not Pro. I have Pro. Pro's like $50 for a license. And it's a single computer license. Actually, no, I think I have, like... Wait, no. I don't have my license. I have a full version. You can do a... To put it simply, you're better off doing a one-time purchase than, like, paying for a license. You will save yourself so much money by just buying the whole program outright, which is what I did. And the other nice part is, now that I have that, I can add it to my laptop, I can use it on my desktop, I can add it to a new computer without issue. Because they can't give you shit about it anymore. You literally paid $50 for this program. There's nothing they can do or say. But it's like insanity that they seriously think, oh yeah, that's a lot of money. Let's make them pay more money for it. I'm like, that's a lot of money to be throwing. There's another CD port. Oh, you have Clip Studio Paint on a disc? I bought it through the website. There was a time I probably would have bought it on a disc though. I have to buy a disc for Windows, or I want to get like I want to get it on a USB stick because I know that they literally make one that's a USB. The only issue is it's $200. It's so expensive. Like, you guys can't see it on the stream, but I can see this ugly ass watermark that says activate Windows, go to settings and activate Windows every day because I use this computer like every single day. But I get to see that every day because I don't have a full version of Windows. It's definitely annoying. So I get to just deal with it. Oh, what song is this one? I like this one. Oh, I have this. That's why I like this song. That explains a lot. I just realized I forgot to do the antennas. I gotta do that right now. Better yet, I'm gonna grab the whole Gucci. Gooch down. How much room is it? Oh, I have a lot of room. Jesus, why didn't I move this down sooner? There we go. Yeah, I ended up having to get an external CD port. The only reason this computer doesn't have a full version of Windows on it is because it's an iMac. It's an iMac running Windows. Because I have a Windows 10 laptop, but it's a nice laptop, yes, but it's like sometimes you just need that heavier duty computer. You know, like I play a lot of like Overwatch. I cannot do Overwatch competitive on that little laptop anymore. It just doesn't work. How do you spell antenna? Screw it, close it up. Okay, so all the females are curved like that? Or is it just... God, I need to watch it. Maybe I haven't watched it in a long time. Oh, wait, I tried the cool. Like, I did a speed paint and the song was in there, and I couldn't figure out why the song was so familiar, and I'm like, oh duh, I only worked on it for like 4 days trying to get it to export properly. Like, Adobe, after they moved everything to the cloud, everything is so finicky now. Like, it's fighty. At best. Let's see, antennas. I think maybe some grace things. I'm gonna say that and then make her scrub. Because that's just how I do. Oh. Yeah, I have 2 different CD ports for this computer because of the fact that it doesn't have anything that I need. Like, I have a Cintiq, and for the Cintiq, you need 2 different port types. You need an HDMI, and you need a USB. And I ran out of USBs. This computer does not have a built-in CD drive. It does not have a built-in HDMI port. I literally had to pay like $50 for an extra piece of equipment just so I could use my tablet. Which is incredibly frustrating. And that's like, it's not, like, this tablet itself is already really expensive. But like, it was like really weird. On the website they made it sound like it was USB only. I should have figured that wouldn't be so simple. Here we go. Here's antennas. This reminds me of hyper potions. Yeah, do a little color work on it. Like, I like Clip Studio Paint. It's a little weird because I also have Paint Tool Sci, but I have only the first version, and Paint Tool Sci can't recognize Clip Studio files, and Clip Studio can't recognize Sci files. But Sci doesn't exactly cooperate with my Cintiq for some weird reason or another. It's like it loses all of its sensitivity, and I've already tried a bunch of different fixes, but nothing seems to work. And I've already tried reaching out to the company, and they've got no solution for me, so that sucks. But it's like, that's why I switched to Clip Studio, and I don't regret it. Like, I really enjoy Clip Studio. It has a lot of functionality that I would have otherwise missed out on. Oh, I see where I went wrong. I need to add a line here. Where the nose is, there needs to be a line. I need to switch to the eraser tool and make it really small because I can't see what I'm doing. I need to make it easier to do. I may stop this stream soon. I might pick it up again later, but I'm starting to feel fatigue and my wrists are hurting. I'll still do the other stuff from the chat. We need to go back and fix this. There is a mistake here. This character's face reminds me of Slippy in a weird way. Which is really weird because Slippy's a toad. Oh no, Slippy's a frog. No, Slippy's a toad. These eyes. Dude, the eyes on these characters, like, when they don't have any, like, highlights on them, it looks like they've seen some shit, man. You've seen some shit.
Filling the lungs inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes.
Texturing these things must have been a pain in the butt. I still think texturing this would have been a lot more simple than texturing a movie like Cars. Like, I have some experience in texturing. Are my lashes right? Nope. Good. And he wants to keep the character red, so we gotta get the colors in here. So let me put the red in there.
Your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time.
Red, and it looks like it's like a dark red, so this is probably like a fire ant. So we'll not do a full-on red, but we will get the red in there. And we'll use the glitter for him, for the coloration. This is red. That's fine, I'll go back and adjust it. Yeah, there's a lot of new functionality to learn in this program. It was really weird going from like having everything kind of laid out to having to actually look for it, but it was nice in the fact that I didn't have to switch between Photoshop and Psy every time I wanted to do certain effects. This program has like built-in effects. It's got like the filters, it's got blur, correct line, distort, effect, render, and sharpen, which is nice. There's a lot more stuff I can do with it. Oh, I know this song.
Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bonnet. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
I know the song because of Wayne Wolf. But I regularly listen to MCs. So they have a lot of really, like, people think, oh, well, it's not gonna be as good because it's not like a big artist. And I'm like, you should support smaller artists because, who do you think those bigger artists were before they were bigger artists? So I'm not a big fan of a lot of bigger artists now, because they treat a lot of the people near them who are smaller, they treat them like they're nothing, like they're trash. And I'm like, don't kick them around. Like, don't treat your fans like trash. Because your fans are the reason you're anybody. You would be absolutely nobody without them. It's just really stupid that you treat them poorly because, well, because it's stupid. Period. That's just it. It's dumb. He's not a big brain moment. He's not a big brain moment. He's very nice. But not really. Very not nice. But yeah. Now, I need to go back in with a G pen So I can get these fingies.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Chicken fingies. Chicken nugget. I wonder what I'm doing. I don't really thought about that. I'll get it eventually. That's kind of the nice part about having something like ADHD. It's kind of a bad thing, but for me it works out because I can go for hours without thinking about going to the bathroom, without thinking about eating, without thinking about drinking. I can just zone and focus. Like, if you would have talked to me like 10 years ago, I literally would not have been able to multitask like that. Like, something in my brain was just not gonna let me do that. It's nice to be able to do it now. Let's see here. Let's get this line a little more organized here. And then I gotta make this darker. So I click this on, and fill bucket it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and use soft to lighten its colors a bit. Give it light highlights and dark. I love this feature. I love being able to use this. There's that autosave. That autosave. I gotta change the autosave frequency because it's way too often. My brain immediately was like, chow. The sad part, I don't even know why ka-chow. It almost looks like he has no eyes. He's like, oh no. Where we're going, we don't need eyes. Got some shading. It is the dynamic that it is actually a shaded area. And I need to get them fingies. I forgot to highlight the fingies. How the hell does one shade an edge like this? It's shiny. And so that means I need to like get it really bright on some parts. Like here and here. It's weird because the way they designed it, like, and they did it on the actual characters, it's like they're metallic, and it's really strange because bugs themselves, yeah, they've got a bit of a coat on them, but they're not metallic. It's kind of almost like when you think of like plastic. It's really strange. Ants are weird. Bugs are weird. They're kind of cool. And they're kind of frustrating. But they're mostly cool. I'm trying to keep it from looking metallic as much as I can. Just enough that it's got the proper highlighting and shading that it needs. Whenever I do eyes, I always give it like a bluish. That's not too good. And in the character design, it's black eyes. So I'm gonna give them gray. So it's not. Sorry, I'm being really quiet now. I'm like kind of in the zone. Like I have one piece that I did and I was really in the zone that I really still love. I think this is one of the ones I did for a challenge on DeviantArt, but it's like I became like really in the zone when I did that. We were provided a background and you filled in with your own character and I filled in with my characters Claudia and Draven. My children! These are characters from an original series that I'm working on called Mirai no Senshi. Otherwise known as Feature Warriors, or Warrior of Feature. I love the series so far, and it's like weird to say because this is my own series, but it's something I've worked my ass off on for a long time, like over 10 years. And it's like when I see people like them and like these characters, I'm like so happy. Because I'm like, I worked so long and hard on it. And that means, like, it paid off, you know? You need to line it a little more here.
But it's not like I need it. And you may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it.
Make it flat.
You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head.
I just do the most basic of basic things here and totally messed it up. Hold on. What tool did I use for that? I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to wing it. I didn't. Keep losing the color because I lift up my pen too close. I'm like, no.
I just need to clear my head. I just need to.
Oh yeah, link your DeviantArts and your social media. That way I can like find you later. Oh, Picarto's like, are you sure you want to leave Picarto? I'm like, if I didn't want to leave Picarto, do you think I would have clicked on a link? I see a line outside of where it's supposed to be. Ooh. No bueno. Oh god, I should ask. Oops. Let's do that. Airbrush, soft. Nice. It's a long and hard journey creating your own series, but it's totally worth it when people like acknowledge it. It's like the greatest feeling ever. There we go. And we'll save this one as... Shoot, he didn't give me the name of this character. That's not good. We'll just name this one Monkey Guy, which is the username. Monkey Guy. Oh, no.
just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now.
Oh, his name's Buddy. Okay.
No room for doubt.
Found it.
No, we can't turn back now.
Oh.
I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night.
Nope.
Just
I'm
like
gonna use
the
this one.
sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up, baby. Tonight we gonna.
Let me fight my writing style. My draw. Jesus. My draw. Ah. Anything but my draw. Me. Nope, that's not. Yep.
Broken alone, I feel the rain crashing down. All around this empty town, I'm searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames won't burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me.
Oh, that was quick.
Oh, you meant the world to me.
Oh, yep. Got that account removed. Got another spam bot account taken down. Yeah. Not like it matters that much. It's gonna be back really fast. So.
When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Oh, to the one of the people watching on here that's not logged in and doesn't have an account, you can still participate in this. You just follow the Twitter link and send it over there. Or hold on, I have a list of social medias. https://www.link/ I have a list of social medias available there. If you want to choose one out of there, if you want to send an image through there, you can send one through there. I never added my Discord user to that. I should probably do that. I don't know if I can do that on Willow. Whoa, what? How did I do that? I just made it blue. I made it blue! I didn't even realize I could do that. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. I did not know I could do that. Alright, let me go ahead and crop this so I can get that set over. Alt. Crop. Coolio. That's not how I do that. Lagging a little bit right there. That's not good. Export PNG. Buddy. Is it just me, or does the noise it makes in this song sound like the pufferfish? Like, it just hit me. I was like, that's a familiar sound. What is that sound? And then it was like, oh, it's the pufferfish. Now that I've exported it, and I got that one. And then I'll export that off camera, because that's going to take a little bit. Part of me like wants to draw angst at some point today. I've wanted to draw angst for like 3 days. But then I was like, I'll get around to it. And then never did. I have to finish, like, this is one of the main characters from my personal series. This is Claudia, currently getting a redesign. Should really fix that. I need to fix that really badly. Did not look very good in its current form. I still, like, I haven't drawn the facial features like that in a little while. Like, I was really surprised by how well it was.
I stopped asking for forgiveness, 'cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment, 'cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change,
starters. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always get a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never ties. Look in my eyes. I'm on the rise.
Desk is really small. Really difficult to work with this space. Nope. I need to rotate that.
A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
We are the apocalypse and a pill that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the night won't scare us falling. So rise up. Way too great to be landed. Rise up. Way too great to be standing.
They never gonna stop us, flying by them like choppers. Better cut those risks, hold one of my fists, we fire starters. Let's go. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always get a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never ties. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rise.
Like a real love, but it goes so fast. All tied up like a captive. I want you. Used to pay my life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I know no patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me
You mean you want more muscle and less curve, or more curve and less muscle? Both of these things? Boom. And then we put that one in there. Did I not export a path thing? I'm just blind. Oh, I'm stupid. dumb. I forgot that I saved it differently.
See the spot you throw my way. Your name is written on everyone's mind. Your whole show is captivating me, but don't think that I can see right through that disguise. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, yeah, now
I am so fucking dumb. I saved this overall file as a PSD, and the thing about Clip Studio Paint is it records a time lapse, and I forgot that when you switch the file, you have to do that. Mingle. Okay, can you stop it? Oh. Oh my god, you are so discard. Re-add it again. Bingo. Alrighty, there we go. So I got the two down there. Like, stretchy character should really have muscle more than curve. Oh, so he's like stretchy. Or is it they? Tiny notepad. Itty bitty baby notepad. Meh. Question for it. My pins. Where did I put my pens? That is an excellent question. I have a color pencil. That works. Okay, let me make a note of the ones I need to do. Okay, so Zeno. Last muscle. Noted. Crafted meters as well. That's a Zephyrin. Knock that off. No. Naughty boy. Naughty boy. Oh my god, what's his name? Elastic. Elastic Man. Plastic Man. Like Plastic Man? Bird, you about to get kicked out of the room. You better stop. Psycho. Psychopath. Bird. Do you hear this, psychopath? You're crazy. Like, I've got crazy, but you are crazier than me. Calm down, crazy bird. I love you, but you're being too crazy. Chill. You don't need to scream. The one who's an asshole is the cat, not you. And that's because he's a cat, and that's just a cat thing. See, people are like, you shouldn't say that about your cat. I'm like, you've never owned a cat, have you? Anyone who's ever owned a cat knows that cats are like, seriously, they're assholes. Like, that's fact. Alright. I think I'm gonna end stream for now because I got a lot of stuff I gotta do. I may pick it up to, later tonight. Like for me, I'm on West Coast. I'm on the West Coast of the United States, so I think that's it is really dark outside. It is seriously like ominous because it's still 95 degrees outside. Like the other day, it was 10:30 at night, and it was still like 97 degrees outside. It was stupid hot. It wasn't even the other day. That was Sunday. Craziness. But yeah. Thanks everyone for coming to the stream. I'll see you later. If I don't see you later, then I'll see you tomorrow. I may or may not work on them off stream. I'll have to see what happens later tonight. Because my body is weird and acid reflux is like, sometimes you can do things after dinner. Sometimes you can't. It's up to my body at that point. But yeah, whoops, I forgot how to write. And with that, I bid you all